Hey everybody, how are you today? I got my little baby settled, so I am good to go. Okay, today we're going to talk about, let me fix this one. Let me put this a little higher. Okay. Hey Erica. So today we're talking about the dangers of being a victim, right? And when we think of victim, we think of someone who suffered at the hand of another person or who got the short end of a deal, at its very, very basic, overly simplified definition. Now, every day, I hear, I see, and people talk to me, right? And a lot of the time, they play the role of the victim. And it may be knowingly, it's probably unknowing, right? Because they talk about what happened to them and woe is me and this is this and this keeps happening to me and I can't believe such and such did this after everything I did for them, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I came to realize if something is happening over and over and over to you, or you keep identifying with this feeling, right? This victim situation, even if you don't call yourself a victim, a lot of times the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the stories you tell, paint you as a victim, somebody who's something's always happening to them, or they're not ever, making it out of this rut. It's like, woe is me, over and over and over. I just can't take it. But if things like that keep happening, you have to analyze your situations. Analyze it. And when I say analyze, I dig deep. Reevaluate what's going on in your life. Reevaluate what goes on in situations. What part do you play? What part does the other person play? What needs to change? What are you attracting? These are just a few questions that I ask myself all the time, because I don't, when things happen, the knee-jerk reaction is be like, oh, I can't believe that, and put the focus on the other person. But I have to challenge myself to look internally. Like, what about this situation could have been avoided? What about this situation is my fault? Where can I hold myself accountable? Yeah, that accountability word is like a curse word to some people, because we always want to push the blame and project our feelings onto other people. But honey, it's not always, nobody's always never. It's never always never. Okay? Because people get mad. You always, nobody always anything. Or you never, nobody always never anything. You know what I'm saying? So what about these situations can you take part of that blame for? Okay? Let's say something as general as you getting to work late, right? Now, you may be mad at every car that's in front of you, every car that seems to come out of nowhere, every car that seems to be on the same road at the same time as you, every car that is just doing what it wants to do, and nobody is getting out of your way. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Your fault. You could have planned better. Maybe you could have woken up a little earlier. Yeah, granted, sometimes we oversleep. But even in that, whose fault is that if you oversleep? I remember one time, it was years ago. I remember my cousin was upset with his mother because she didn't wake him up for a job interview. I'm going to say it again. A few years ago, my cousin was upset with his mother because she didn't wake him up for a job interview. Yep. That's how my face was when he said it. That's when he said, man, I ain't talking to my mom right now because she ain't even wake me up for the job interview. I like had a pause. I was like, what? Yes, Vicky. I was like, wow, we serious right now? Granted, he wasn't a teenager. He was a grown man with children, mad at his mother because she didn't wake him up for a job interview that he needed. Accountability. Accountability. This is a curse word to most people because nobody really likes being accountable, because it makes you, it takes a knock at your pride. It makes you look some type of way. It makes you feel some type of way. But when it's your fault, you have to own it. When it's up to you and you could have prevented it and it happened to you because of your own doing, accountability. Be accountable. That means take the blame. My bad. That's on me. I don't blame people for things that happen to me. Very rarely. Right, Vicky? And that's the same thing. Like, if I didn't wake up for a job interview that I needed, and I was relying on my mom to wake me up when I have kids who depend on me, I really didn't want it that badly. I couldn't have wanted it that badly, because something that we really want, we go after. And yeah, Auntie, his responsibility, I don't know. And his mom, it was like she didn't necessarily coddle him at that stage, but I'm sure there was some coddling that went too far past the expiration date, if that makes sense. You know, like we all hug and comfort and hold our kids close and we protect them. Hey, Devontae. Hey, Miss Gilda. We all protect our, our children and those who we love. But it does come a point where we're doing too much and we're not allowing them to hold themselves accountable, or we're not holding ourselves accountable to them. That absolutely happens. But when it's something that happens to you, I don't know too many people I can blame for something that happened to me. And I don't want to put people in control of my life where I always have to shift the blame or look for somebody to point my finger at, because that really makes you look crazy. And to me, it really looks crazy when I talk to people, especially grown people, and they tell me a story and they're the victim in the story. This is what happened to me. And we all have done it. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I have to catch myself where I really, I'm about to lash out and tell somebody off and stop myself. It's not their fault. It's mine. What did I allow to happen? What led up to this? What events? What were the sequence of events that led to this point that I could have prevented? That does take a lot of accountability. It takes a lot of responsibility, and it also takes maturity. That's another word that people really don't like. Maturity. Okay? Maturity. These are things that we need in order to stop being the victim. Because as the victim, you give the other person way too much power. And there's so many people walking around looking just hungover. I mean, like physically, like the way that they carry themselves and their posture, and when they talk, it's like, oh God, please don't come over here with that. Not her, not him. I don't want to hear it today. Because they just suck. They're like leeches. They drain the life out of you. Because their stories, the theme of their life is always the same. The victim. What somebody did to you. What happened to you. I just can't catch a break. I just did blip, blip, blip. It's nauseating. I can't take it. So I challenge you today. Reevaluate your life. Reevaluate some issues that have happened, some situations, circumstances, events. Reevaluate them and look to see where you can be held accountable. Look to see what you could have done. Maybe you could have said something different, right? Let's say somebody went off on you and that you felt like it was unwarranted, but you said something that had a slick little undertone or an offensive undertone, or something that you said was really off the cuff, but you said it with a smile. Those, even little things like that. Look to see where you can be held accountable. Look to see where you can take some of that responsibility, if not all of the responsibility. I'm at the point in my life where I pretty much take all the responsibility for what happens. Because I don't like giving other people control of what I do and who I am or what happens to me. It's unnecessary. I think I'm mature enough, I'm old enough, I'm wise enough to prevent some things and to correct some things, because I'm a whole process here. I am a whole person going through a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be evaluated, reevaluated, changed, modified, altered, corrected, whatever. Work in progress. Here I am. But on this journey together, right? As we live our best lives and become the best versions of ourselves, look where we can be accountable and not play the victim. Do it today. Pay very close attention today to your conversations, to things that you engage in on Facebook, people that you talk to on the phone, whatever you do when you're driving. Look at all of these different things in your marriage, with your children, every area of your life today. I want you to pay specific attention to what's going on and how you can avoid it, how you can correct it, how you can modify the situation or beautify the situation. But it's time, it is really time for all of us to be accountable for what we do, to be mature, take responsibility for our own actions, and not be the victim. Okay? So that's my 10-minute talk for the day. Thank you so much for joining in. I love you. I am Aquisha Harris, your world-renowned coach and consultant, or consultant and coach, whatever. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye.